Should have talked. Good afternoon and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, senior instructor here at VectorVest, and thank you for mentioning it right at the end, Joey. I could have changed. I could have. All right. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation. Mark says, "Speak up, Glenn. I'm watching from a bar. I meant remote office." How many of you are watching basketball right now? How many of y'all are watching basketball right now? Type of 1. March Madness starts. All right, March, you know what I'm saying? Go Duke. That's all I got to say. Where's the hat? I got just a regular. Wow, Joey's a Carolina fan. So I got basketball on, so I can see it. If I go, yeah, in the middle of something, you know that I'm watching basketball. So, all right, Mizzou and Utah State. I'm watching, on my app, I'm watching West Virginia and Maryland. All right. Today is going to be a little bit of a different, fun kind of day. Today, Gilligan, you can come. Yes, one more day, and then I'm on my cruise. So today is going to be the last live stream for about a week. So I thought I was going to have a little fun with the live stream today, and you're gonna get inside the mind of Glenn Edward Tompkins Jr. in regards to finding stocks. All right, so that's what you're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make it fun. How many people we have here so far, Joey? Let's take a look. Right now we've got 76. All right, so I'm sure the alert probably just hit. That's going to bump up. Today is a day before I go on vacation. I want us to make a real hard, concerted push to get us to 300 people in the room today. 300 people. Let's do it. We can do it. Let's do it once, at least before I leave. Let's do it once. Let's make it happen. All right. So that means all you guys have to share. Don't put the link up yet. I want to get more people in the room, Joey. But once we do, Joey's going to put the link that you guys can share and share now. All right. Glenn equal Joey can take over. Joey don't want none of this. I don't think he can handle all this smoke. I don't think he can handle this smoke. Wow. There you go. The crap talking has begun. There's the link. All right. We got 218 people. There's the link. Share that link right now with all your people on your social circles. I know a lot of you on YouTube have followers. Share it with your followers. Let's get 300 people. I promise you today is going to be a real good day in how I go through the process of finding stocks. You're going to get, and we're going to do it live. We're going to try to find some stocks to take advantage of in this market. We're not looking at we're not looking at news or anything. We're going to use the power of the VectorVest system to find stocks to take advantage of right now. All right, 223, 230. Let's go. 70 more. All right. Today is going to be fun. As I mentioned, this will be my last live stream for about a week. Get ready to go on a cruise starting Saturday. I've already recorded videos for next week. So we've got the Monday 6 p.m., Tuesday 6 p.m., and Friday 6 p.m. videos already recorded. There's not going to be but only one live stream next week. That's going to be at Thursday at our regular time. Steve Chappell will be the special host for the live stream. So there's no live stream Monday and there's no live stream Wednesday, but there will be a live stream on Thursday. Does everybody understand that? Because when I come back, I don't want to hear, well, you didn't tell us. If you understood everything that I just said, type of 1. And Jay, I don't know the name of the boat. My wife does. My job was just to pay. She set up all the excursions and all that stuff. I know we're on the 8th deck and we've got a balcony room. All right, we're on the 8th deck in a balcony room. So that's what we got. So I wanted to make sure that everybody out there knows what's going on next week. All right. So with that, Mark says, I shared with Jay, Roger, Drew, Martin, Glenn, and Joey, but not with Boston. I don't even know if Boston is here. Boston, are you here? She might or might not be here. I'm not going on the minnow. It's not a 3-hour tour. It is not the Titanic. It is not the Poseidon Adventure. It's none of that. It's a Norwegian boat and it's big. That's all I know. It is a big boat. My first cruise. There's Boston is here. My first cruise. I'm excited about it. We leave out Saturday. Woo! So I'm pumped. All right. Let's talk about what's going on in the market. A lot of news still about the banks. The banks are still taking the headline stories. I got another story for you that I don't know if you've all seen it yet. But man, it's a doozy, and it's setting the precedent. John says, Glenn, I hear you're going to do Trending Thursday from the bar. Do Trending Thursday from the bar. No, I'm not doing Trending Thursday from the bar. No, I'm not. I don't know who told you that. As much as I love all of you folk, I ain't looking. I don't even think my wife's going to allow me to look at the stock market while we are on the cruise. All right. I don't even think and I think that if I've got my phone to take a look at what's going on, especially when the Fed announces, I think she's going to throw my phone off the boat. I think that she's going to do that. And then I'm going to come back sad. If that happens, you will not even know that you're moving. I've been on a ship. I've been on a Navy ship, and I got seasick on it. Woo-wee. Jody says SVP under investigation. You're gonna see. I got a story for you. Tommy says they called that a ship, not a boat. I was on a Navy ship. It was a flat bottom ship, LST, and we were sailing from South Korea back to Okinawa. It took us a couple of days. It wasn't fun. The first and only time I've ever been seasick. But I think it was because it was a flat bottom boat. It was not fun. Glenn, you are the king of your castle. No, I'm not. Who told you I'm the king of my castle? I'm the COO. I'm the chief operating officer. I'm the chief money guy. My wife is the CEO. Don't get it twisted. On-board Wi-Fi only allows streaming of Love Boat reruns. My wife has got the Wi-Fi. I don't. It was $175 a person for Wi-Fi. I was like, heck no. I'm not trying to do. My wife's got the Wi-Fi. So that's it. All right. So here we go. A lot of yellow today. Primary wave still down. A lot of red in the color guard. It's tomorrow's video. Yes. Tomorrow's video is already recorded. You need to watch it. It's preparing you for the market no matter what happens. And I'm going to show you why I picked the stocks that I did. You don't want to miss it. And I made this video specifically because of the impending decision by the Fed next week. I need to make sure that before I go, that you guys are prepared no matter what the Fed says. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. And again, it's a very short video, probably the shortest video I've ever made, because you know me, I love to talk. But I think it's very poignant to the point of what you guys need to be prepared for to stay afloat of what's going on in the market right now. Siberia, I've never heard you speak. Look at that. Norwegian cruise ships are great. Thank you. Color green goes green next week. Ooh, I don't know. Color guard goes green next week. I don't know. All right. I think there's a lot of stuff in play. We got to take a look at the inflation story. We got to take a look at the bank story right now. A lot of things weighing heavy on the Fed in his decision. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted a poll on Twitter about should the Fed pause or should he continue to raise? It looks like more and more people are saying that they should consider to keep on raising interest rates. If you don't follow me on Twitter, if you want to, go search for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. I put a lot of stuff up there on the Twitter as well. So if you're not and you want to follow me, do that. But answer the poll. The poll is, do you think the Fed should stop raising interest rates right now, or should he continue? And I've got a story behind what somebody else is already doing that could weigh very heavy on what the Fed is going to do. So a lot of red in the color guard, a lot of bearishness. I also want you to keep your eyes on the MTI and the buy to sell ratio. We're at a point where the market is looking for a bottom. The market's been beaten up so hard, so fast. We got to the levels of looking for a bottom pretty quickly. Does this mean it's time to bottom fish? If you're a VectorVest subscriber, we're keeping you abreast of that, all right? If you are a VectorVest subscriber, we are definitely keeping you abreast of that. My personal opinion right now is we've got to wait to see what the Fed does, if there's going to be any room for us to find a bottom and go back up. Raising is a mistake, says Randy. Oof. Something, I look at what's going on with the banks. I still think that the other shoe has not fallen in regards to the banks, because a lot of these regional banks did the same thing that SVB did, that all of these banks did. that they invested in bonds when the interest rates were low. Okay? For anybody to say raising is a mistake, I want you to take this into consideration. All right, Randy, I can't say that I agree, disagree. But is it the Fed's job to protect the banks or the economy? Joey, make that a poll. Is it the Fed's job to protect the banks or to protect the economy? Do not answer in the room. Joey is going to put a poll up right now. Is it the Fed's job to protect the banks or to protect the economy? Joey, are you there? Yeah, we are. Nectarios, we may be. We may be. I don't know. Did I lose Joey? I might have lost Joey. Dang it. I would put the poll up, but I don't know how to put the poll up. Glenn, you worked Joey way too hard. Really? Yep, Fitz. That's what I'm going to talk about in a second. All right, Joey may have stepped away, but I'm going to set that up as a poll real quick. I'm going to set that up as a poll real quick. Let's get into the news. All right, someone said about ECB, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Credit Suisse to borrow up to nearly $54 billion from the Swiss national banks. So the Saudis couldn't do it. The Saudis said that they couldn't own more than 10% of Credit Suisse due to regulations. So they couldn't give them the money. So they went to the Swiss National Bank and they're raising $54 billion. That now becomes a bailout, all right, from the Swiss National Bank to bail out Credit Suisse. But now, remember when we were talking about protecting the depositors? Remember we talked about protecting depositors and we said that that wasn't a bailout? Watch this. First Republic set to get $30 billion of deposits in rescue. So we saw SVB do the same thing. The government backed them. JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America among the banks in the discussions to now set the precedent has been set. Now, if more of these banks start to fail because of what they've done, the precedent is being set to protect the investor, the depositor. I think that it's a good thing to protect the depositor, but the depositor, so I'm going to take another side of this. The depositor knows that $250,000 of the deposits are FDIC insured. If they went above and beyond that, they did that above and beyond on their own. So should they be backstopped? Making me think. It's just making me think about it. Should they be backstopped, knowing that they know that only $250,000 of their money is being insured? So outside of that, let's think about if I'm a $2 million company, do I need to now have my money in 8 different banks to make sure I'm insured? Or do I use the convenience of banking with one bank, knowing that out of my $2 million in deposits, only $250,000 is insured? That makes for a very interesting discussion. That really does make for a very interesting discussion. I know that the human nature side of us feels that the depositors had nothing to do with this. It was the way that the banks managed the money. It was the way that the banks went in and they got the bonds. But there's another side of that too. They might have gone to get the bonds, but we've been seeing that the interest rates have been rising for the last year. Yet these banks still kept the bonds. Was it irresponsible for the banks to keep the bonds? Or was it the greed that said, this is going to be short term? This is very interesting. All right, Jay says there's 269 people watching, only 57 likes. Come on, folks. Again, I love being on our channel with the conversations that we have. And I think that these are conversations that we have to have as investors. All right, I'm not going to shy away from them. Hit the like button if you feel that this is what we do on this channel. All right. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. But if you understand and like the conversations that we have on our live streams, hit the like button. Choose the biggest banks, less risky. Even if you choose the biggest banks, They only insure your money up to $250,000. FDIC protects depositors. The Fed protects the economy overall. No one protects the banks or should. They're businesses like any other and have to make smart choices or go under. I'm with that 100%, Roger. So now the FDIC does protect the depositors up to $250,000. But if I have $2 million in deposits with this bank, I'm now saying, this is now telling me that no matter how much money I put in the bank, I'm going to be backstopped. I think that sends the wrong communication to the people in the market who put money in the bank. Do you agree with that? This one doesn't need a poll. Do you agree that it's the responsibility of the depositor on what they do, or should they be backstopped? One, if they know what they're getting ready to get into. Two, if you think that they need to be backstopped. All right. So that's an interesting question. Mark is right. I think too. Backstop is the wrong message. All right. So wow, look at that. Is it the Fed's job to protect the bank or to protect the economy? 88% says it's the Fed's job to protect the economy. All right. So this leads me into the next topic of discussion. What is the Fed going to do on the next interest rate? A lot of people think that the Fed is going to pause because of what's going on with the banks. That if he continues to raise interest rates, that those bonds are going to become more toxic that the banks have hold on to. John says, who protects the banks? The banks are a business. Roger is right. The banks are a business. The banks are responsible for making prudent decisions on how they run themselves. Lauren says corporate wealth should be managed like private wealth. Only a portion of the company's money should be kept earning almost zero in the banks. The rest should be invested in at least money markets or such. See, this is why I like this conversation. The ECB did not pause. Oh, I agree. I agree, Brian. We're going to get to that in a second. Oh, as a matter of fact, we're going to get to it now. The ECB defies mounting banking strains with a 0.5 point raise. Whew. And who just put that up there? Somebody just put that up there. The Fed, and there it is. The Fed is using the same data indicators. So now for all of those people, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of big name people that you guys follow more so than me, that say, and one is Kathy Woods, that's her name, said that the Fed is going to start cutting rates before the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen or not if we don't get to the 2%. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. That's a bold statement. All right. But a lot of people I'm watching are saying that it's a 65% chance that the Fed pauses because of what's going on with the banks. The ECB said, no. Well, the ECB, European, so it would be something like English. Oh, no, we're not going to stop raising rates just because the banks are making buffoons of themselves. No. Pip, pip, chitty out. Oh, that's all right. That's my ECB accent. Now, there's a lot of stuff over there in the ECB. I just picked one. I picked English. All right, but I'm thinking that we need a 50 basis point rise. I think we do. All right, but a lot of people are still saying that the 25 basis point is baked in. But the rising concerns about what's going on with the bank are saying that the Fed has got a high probability of pausing, temporary pause. Glenn, can you do a German accent? No. No. My wife is German, but I can't. All I can say is Achtung. Jawohl. Sauerkraut. That's about it. That's about all the German I can do. That's about all the German you can do. You said it like a Londoner. I was supposed to. That was my London accent. Probably need a 50 basis point, but the Feds will do a 25, says Kevin. We'll see. I think that a 50 basis point is needed. I've been saying since last year he needed to just rip the Band-Aid off and do a 100 basis points. But this was a story that I wanted to bring to the table because the ECB said even though they have banking strains, they went with a half-point raise. All right, they went with a half-point raise. All right, with that, talking about more banks. 3 U.S. banks collapsed in a week. Here's why others might follow. The story about the bonds and all of that kind of stuff. So the same, and it's global. All right. How about Bank of America won big from the Silicon Valley Bank collapse? SVP imploded last week after depositors tried to withdraw $42 billion from the institution, with the FDIC taking over the bank over the weekend. Meanwhile, New York Department of Financial Services took possession of Signature Bank. That was 2 banks on Sunday, saying the corporation had failed to provide reliable big bank bonanza. Bank of America isn't the only giant bank seeing an influx of new trade. Why is that happening? People are going to other banks to try to make sure that they don't get caught out with SVB, with what happened with SVB. So a lot of banks are going to be picking up a lot of extra business. That money is still only insured up to $250,000. But you hope that the bigger banks are doing a better job in the tactics that they have in place as a company. ECB is up. All right, Maria took that away. Glenn, all you need to know in German is, I'm not saying that, Roger, because I might be cussing. You might be making me cuss. I'm not going to be cussing. It's not going to be because of you I get canceled. If they did 100 basis points way back, they would have blown up these banks sooner and at smaller cost to everyone. I think a lot of people feel that if he would have done 100 basis point, that the economy would have got whacked. I think we're still getting whacked. Instead of just taking the Band-Aid off and facing the music, I think we're going through a process of a death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's what I think is going on. This whole story tells me that all of the banks all over the world are empty. I don't know if they're empty. I think a lot more. I think, Mario, that there's a lot more better run banks. All right. So that's what I think. Maria says ECB head is French. Oh, it is French. So what did they say? When they go to raise the rates, they say, no, we are not going to look at these silly little banks. No. Parlez-vous français? Comment allez-vous? Oh, fanfoui. We are going to raise the rates, and they will just have to suffer. How about that as French? Did you like that accent? How did you like that accent? Did you like that accent? Since the ECB is French, the head of the ECB is French, how did you like that accent? That was my French accent for the ECB. I took away the English accent. All right, so there we go. Parlez-vous français? Comment allez-vous? Oh, je ne sais pas. All right, sound like Pepe Le Pew. Oh, come to me, my little sweet. You know something? They were trying to cancel Pepe Le Pew, saying that was sexual harassment. How do you go to a kid's cartoon and say that that's sexual harassment? I don't know. I'm just saying. All right, say that to my wife. I say, honey, we go on the ship and we go sail away into the Casbah. She might walk away. All right, next story. We were talking about this in one of the live streams recently. Long-awaited Fed digital payment system to launch in July. Can somebody moderate the volume? Is it that I probably have to sit still. That's the problem. I probably have to. Wow, Joey's got it all the way up. I don't know how much. I can't go any higher unless it's too high. All right, unless it's too high. My volume is way up there. So, Brett, I'm not sure. Is it too loud? So let me know. Is it too loud or is it too low? Type it in the room. Or is it just right? Is it the mama bear, the papa bear, or is it Goldilocks? All right, I don't know. It's too high. Fireblazer says it's too high. It went. Did it go lower? No, it's still high. It's still way up there. Joey will work on it in the background. Now it says I'm too close to the mic. All right. I need to probably sit still and probably sit back. How about this? All right. I'm going to sit still and sit back. Digital currency or digital payment system to launch in July. Keep your eyes on that. Baidu shares dropped to an 8-week low after the company reveals its GPT rival. And my last story is, I just got this. $100 billion bet on semiconductor hinges on remaking upstate New York's workforce. Micron plans to hire 9,000 employees at a new suburban Syracuse campus amid shortage of skilled workers. So we just saw a story yesterday in yesterday's live stream about Samsung building the biggest chip manufacturing plant in the world, going to be in South Korea. Micron is, so the chip space, and I love this idea that we're getting the chip business out of China. So it's going to help with the supply. Everything needs chips. All right. So I think that the chip space is very interesting. All right. Very interesting. All right. So those are my stories. Let's get into the software. And here we are. So my stories for the stocks for the stories: TSM, chip story; Bank of America, how some of the bigger banks are getting the money that the regional banks pulled out. The people pull out of the regional banks. Someone said that EWY was the way to partake in Samsung, since you can't trade it here in the United States. That EWY was the way to pick up on some of that Samsung, with them building their factory in South Korea. Micron, in regards to that big investment in chip manufacturing as well. Baidu, because of their Chat GPT rival, and Credit Suisse, because of they got backstop. All right, they got backstop. So notice that all of the stocks that I'm looking at today are up today, based on news. TSM isn't playing nice for me these days. I still think that it's a good space. If you look at TSM, undervalued, fundamentally sound, in an uptrend. If a stock like this, if it's not playing nice for you these days, I'd be willing to have a little bit more patience with that, Roger, specifically because of the good analysis behind it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Even if your stock is not doing what you want it to do, the analysis shows me that it's undervalued, fundamentally sound, going up in price, altogether a good stock. All right. Do you want to fish with those chips? I don't want to fish with those chips. 9,000 will be reported as 300. Randy, what number did you just put? That's not a real number. I don't know. That's not a real number. All right. Yes. And we can't buy into Samsung. So that EWY was a good way to take advantage of Samsung. All right. So those are my big news story stocks for today. They're all moving up. A couple of them are sells. None of them are buys. I am, wait for it, sitting on 10 calls, but plenty of time left on them. Way to go, Roger. All right. Now, here's the question I'm getting ready to ask. That I do a lot of research when I come up with stocks for our videos, for our live streams, all that kind of stuff. How many of you right now are willing to get into the mind of Glenn Edward Tompkins Jr. and show you how to use the power of the system to find stocks to buy? Type of 1 in the room. All right. How many of you are willing to take the journey with me into the mind of Glenn Edward Tompkins Jr. to use the power of the VectorVest software to help you to find good quality stocks? Especially, everybody always asks, are we buying anything today? What stocks can I take advantage of? Blah, 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 blah. All right. So in the Unisearch tool, I've got searches that I've created for the YouTube channel. These are not all searches. Most of these are not searches that you even find in the software. These are searches that I've created for the purpose of YouTube to find stocks. It seems like everybody on YouTube goes to a YouTube channel just to find stocks. So I've made some searches in order to put me ahead of the curve to find stocks to get into. Are we selling our souls, Siberia? No, we are not. Actually, I'm not telling none of you to buy none of these stocks. I'm just taking you through the mind of, I go through my lab to cook up what I need to find the stocks that I think will help you. And we're going through the process of some of those searches that I look at right now. Badger says 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 into the murky cloud, into the clear of a profitable portfolio. Lead the way. I like that. I think that sounds good. Mario doesn't want to do. Mario said no. Well, Mario, you outnumbered. Mario said no. So how about I created a search called breakout stocks. Price actual, trending higher for 2 days. That makes sense for a stock that's breaking out, right? Relative timing below 1. I'm looking for 1 day ago, the timing was below 1, but today the timing got back above 1. Boom. Not only are we trending higher, but now we're in an uptrend. Relative value above 1. Why is that important? I want to try to make sure that the stocks that I'm getting into have good upside potential that should outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years. And I want the earnings growth because I know that earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. I want the earnings growth to be greater than 10%. Next thing is the sort. I want these to be sorted by price growth persistence, CI, times earnings growth. I think that that's a great sort in order to find good quality stocks. All right, so here's my first list of stocks for you. No, I am not going to put this into a document or anything and show you, but I will create, we're going to decide on the fly. We will create a list of about 10 stocks that we like from this process. And when I come back off of vacation, we're going to see how well or not well they've done. Now, Global says, where's Meta and Microsoft? Whoa, wait a minute. See, that's the beauty of what I'm going through right now, Global. I'm not going to find stocks that people are talking about. I want to find stocks by way of the VectorVest system that are working. So I'm not looking at what everybody else is saying. Global, I'm taking that off the table. And you know something? It's not what, in this case, where you say, hey, look at this stock, look at this stock. Right now, I'm taking that off the table. I'm using the power of the VectorVest software to give me some clarity on stocks that should have an opportunity to go higher. I'm putting the probabilities on my side. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm using the power of the software to put the probabilities on my side that we're picking stocks that have the capability to do what we want them to do, which is go up in price. All right. So does everybody understand that? Global, I appreciate those stocks, but it doesn't fit into the realm of what I'm trying to do right now. All right. So let's graph these stocks. So those were the criteria. Let's go see if there's anything here that we want. Let's go put this on a 1 month graph. I've got a graph set up. Actually, I'm going to change the graph setup to trade. All right, the 3 and the 8. Now, these met the criteria of the search. Do I like this yet? No. Why? Over the last month, the stock is trending lower. The 3 and the 8 haven't told me anything. The stock's RT is above 1. I like that. It's below a trend line. It is below a trend line. If I draw a trend line, what's the stock doing over the last month? Going down. Am I ready to pull the trigger on this? Yes or no? No. I'm looking for the 3 to cross above the 8. I like that it found the floor, but I'm looking for the 3 to cross above the 8. Nope. Ooh, do I like this one? Whoo! Financial savings alone found the level of a floor. Hammer formation. The 3 and the 8 haven't crossed yet. It's right at a level of resistance. Where would I think about taking this? I need 2 things to happen. I need end of day for the 3 to cross above the 8, and I need to break through this level of resistance, which is sitting at the price of 36.11. Look at that wick and where it stopped today, right at that level of resistance. That's why that level of resistance is telling me it's not ready to break out yet. Even though it met the criteria of what I was looking for, it's not ready to break out yet. Let's go to the next one. IGT found a level of support. Nice volume. RT is above 1. Could I take this early? Yeah, but I need the same thing to happen. I've got a level of resistance right here, and I'm looking for the 3 to cross above the 8. It's very close, though. Not yet. Close, but no cigar. ISIG. So the search is finding me what I need to keep my eyes on. Do I have a trigger for these trades yet? No. So that tells me that this search is ideally suited for me to put some of these stocks that I like where? Into my hit list. This is a great way to find stocks that, wow, to put into your hit list. Here's Bank Foreign. Look at that. The 3 and the 8 just crossed. Do I like this long term? Oops. Do I like this long term? Let's see if it breaks. Look at that. It broke through my downtrend. I like that play. Very little wick at the top, more open body. The volume I would like to have better. RT is above 1. I've got 2 headwinds right here, 2 levels of resistance, but I like that the 3 and the 8 have crossed. Mark says, watch list. Do we have a hit list? You guys need to create your own hit list. Don't start with me, Mark. I've done a video, shows you how to create a hit list. Take a look at that video. It tells you how to build a hit list. Some of these stocks I would put into my hit list, but BBD, that's a singing group. BBD. Y'all remember BBD? How many of you know who BBD is? Let's go to the next crop. 3-8, not yet. Big wick at the top. Not yet. I'd put that in my hit list, though. A lot of wick at the top. Be careful with that. So it's interesting that these stocks met my criteria. Ooh, this is probably earnings or news. It was earnings. It was earnings. Look at the big give back, though. I'm not feeling that give back on that stock. Even though the 3-8 cross, I'm not feeling the give back. That's a lot of give back. All right, so that's one search. Got some real sewer trout in there that could leap. Could be. BBB, man, you're going back. It was BBD. Bev, Biv, and DeVoe. BBD, not BBB. Sigh. It's Bell, Biv, DeVoe's. I'm building and maintaining a hit list in preparation for an MTI BSR breakout. There we go. That's smart. Do you use the MACD histogram on entry or exit? Just asking. I'm not one that uses MACD, but if you are, that's another way of making sure that depending on how you invest in the market, that's what you want to look for. By all means, do so. By all means, do so. I am not a fan. All right. So that's just me. All right. Now, this is something that I've created. No results. This is RT greater than 1.25, RV greater than 1.25, price greater than $1, blah, 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 price less than $5. And the stock's price actual is higher than it was 1 day ago, the stock price high. I know why this is not finding anything because the market's trending down. But this is a good spot for me to find some good hot stocks. All right, finding some good hot stocks. Why not add the 3-8 crossover to your search? Well, I'm glad you said that because there's my hit list. Here's my hit list. All right, I got 88 stocks in my hit list. So my stock watch list is my hit list and using the 3 and the 8. Boom. Let's go see what's in my hit list and what it went over by the 3 and the 8. Only 2 stocks out of 88 stocks have the 3-8 cross. There you go, Stephanie. All right, there you go. And Fitz, if you like the stochastic and MACD, you can build that into a search. I'm a big fan of order flow and footprint, 2 things which I do not cover in VectorVest. 2 things which I do not cover in VectorVest. So out of my stocks in my hit list, my 88 stocks that I have, only 2 stocks have the 3-8 crossover. Put this on 1 month. There's the 3-8 crossover. Like that, CPRX is a stock that I've made a lot of money on. I have talked about it here on the channel. Is it ready? Let's go put it on a 3-month. Ooh, it could be. There's that 3. It could be. I wonder, this was earnings? Yep, it was an earnings play. It was an earnings play. I do have headwinds sitting at 1658 as a level of resistance. All right. What else is in my list? Palantir is a stock that I really, who's said? Ed Sullivan. I really like Palantir, but I'm not ready for it yet. Even the 3 and 8 just barely crossed, but a little give back today. Do I need premium to do stochastics? Boston, can you answer that? I think you do. I think you do, Fitz. Boston's ignoring it. Boston's probably really busy in the background. She probably is. She probably is. BBD were the new edition rejects. Nah, BBD was a good group. I liked it. I liked it. All right. Yes, or at least the Pro Trader. There you go. Thank you, Boston. All right. Let's do another one. Here's one. How many of you have seen my videos on YouTube called Low Dollar High Potential Stocks? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you have seen my videos that talk about low dollar high potential stocks? My throat's a little dry today, but I'm drinking water out of my VectorVest water bottle. Look at that. Got that in my grab bag. My VectorVest water bottle. So, if you, Mark, I know you haven't seen it. So anyway, low dollar, high potential stocks. What am I looking for? All right. The low dollar part, stocks got to be less than 5. All right. Average volume greater than 50,000 shares. Relative value above 1, relative safety below 1. This makes these aggressive stocks. CI greater than 1.2 and earnings growth rate greater than 10. And the sort is RT times CI. For anybody out there that says a lot of the stuff that we are showing that you can get for free, you can just look at these indicators. You can't get this for free. Let's take a look. Let's go take a look. Is there any stocks in here that I like? Let's graph them all. Put them on a 1-month graph. All right. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to write that down. This is one of the stocks we're going to put in the list. PLX. Remember, folks, we track over 9,000 stocks. We've tracked over 9,000 stocks. And these searches bring the kind of stocks that I'm looking for to the forefront. HGBL. I like it, but it's a down day. If you own it, I wouldn't tell you to get out of it. If I don't own it, I'm not ready to get into it yet. Ooh, WDH coming off a level of support. Volumes picking up. Yes or no? Should we put this in our list? I have a profit target sitting at the high, 1 month high of 325. Is at 294. Do you think that we should take this to put on our list? Yes or no? Do we take WDH and put it into our list for stocks to look at in next week when I come back? Yes or no? All right. Nobody's answering yet. All right. No, too low price. Fits. All of these stocks are going to be less than $5, specifically low dollar stocks. That's why it's called low dollar, high potential. Hi, Ravi. 10 past midnight here, but it's great to hear. Man, thank you for being committed enough to be here, to be up past midnight. When you get a chance, sir, would you look at LABD? Today, I'm not going to as well because I'm taking you through my mind of helping you be able to try to go find stocks. All right. I'm not taking this one. Nope, not taking that one. Not taking that one. Nope. Man, in this current market's condition, folks, even with my searches, it's tough to find stocks, isn't it? That tells me a little something about what we got going on right now. Let's go look at cheap stocks, teeny boppers offshoot. Another way for me to help you to find good stocks. Maryland is up by 1. 9 seconds left to beat West Virginia. I think I had West Virginia to go on. Joey, can you check my list? Did I not have West Virginia to beat Maryland? Only 3 stocks here. Let's graph them all. So the reason why I wanted to go through this live, PLX we already got, is to show you that in the current market's conditions, I'm going to take, what is this? LICN? I'll take that. LICN. Even in looking for stocks in the current market's condition, it ain't easy. What else do I want? Cheap stocks technical. Did we get to 300 people? Huh? Yeah, West Virginia. I did have West Virginia? All right. Somebody said 300 people. We didn't get to 300 people. I didn't think we got to 300 people. I got a lot more stocks here. Let's graph these all real quick. Put these on the 1 month graph. I'll take I'll take this. IMNM. I like the rising volume. RT is above 1. It's a buy. What else do I want in here? No. Ooh, MITK. Where's RT? Let's put this on a 3 month graph. It's coming off a low. The 3/8 just crossed. Let's take MITK. MITK. Was that LICN? That might be LICN. That's what I had. Can you do a search on low price that are optionable? Yes, I can, Randy. Yes, I can. Nope, not taking your stocks. I'm using the software. Today, I'm not taking your stock. Ooh, NCA. That's got some good upside. It's a closed mutual fund. I'm going to put that down. NCA. What about VIV? A little bit channely. And that level of resistance is a good one. No. Ooh, was that earnings? Yep, that was an earnings play, but no wick at the top. No wick at the top. I'm going to take that, LE. So no give back. NMI, not enough volume. PML, no. Ooh, Eton, that's an earnings play, very little wick at the top. ETON. Why do you only look at 3 months on the chart for your choices? Because I want to know something that's now, more in the last quarter. If I want to go out a year, I'm trying to look long term from that point, David. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for long term at that point. If I'm looking for something to swing trade or shorter term, that's why I'm looking at 3 months. Does that make sense, David? Ben, David. Does that make sense? That's what I'm looking for, especially if I'm looking for now. I'm more in tune with the now data than the 1 year data. All right. If I want to do longer term, then yes, I will look at 1 year data, but I'm not for now. That's right at resistance. Right at resistance. No. Right at resistance. I need something that gives KNTE. Right at resistance. But no wick. No wick. I'm gonna try that one. KNTE. No wick at the top. That's got wick right at resistance. Wick at resistance. No wick at resistance. Hammer. 3-8 cross. RT is not above 1 just quite yet. All right. How many stocks we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got in here in my viewers. I made a list already. 3/16/2023 TT Trending Thursday stock picks. All right, I'm gonna put those in here. PLX, LICN, IMNM, MITK, NCA, LE, ETON, KNTE. We just did this live. And what we're going to see is when I come back off of vacation, how this worked out. All right. Once I come back off of vacation, we're going to see how this worked out. Everybody okay with that? Yes or no? Type a yes or a no in the room. You guys okay with that? I just took you through the mind of Glenn Edward Tompkins Jr. Searches to look for, to take advantage of what's going on. And keep in mind, the market's got more downside right now. The market definitely, Maryland won. Do the reset, do the refresh. Did Maryland win? We're going to see how these worked out. All right, we're going to see how these worked out. If they did, that's great. I've given you opportunities to know when to buy into these things, what to look for. As a matter of fact, one day next week, one of the videos is going to show you how to analyze a stock the right way. Make sure you watch it. It's going to show you how to analyze a stock the right way. I know the BSR is wicked low, Glenn, and I think it's going to stay that way until the Fed does whatever the Fed's going to do. So I think we've got about 4 more days of the market staying there. Do we get a little bounce? Maybe. But I think a lot of this market's going to stay status quo. I think a lot of this market's going to stay status quo until the Fed makes its decision. Are you keeping KNTE on the list with a sell recommendation? Yes, I am. I'm using the power of the stock showing me that it wants to break out. As my reasoning behind it. Do you speak Rotanese? Rotanese? Is that how you spell Roatan? That's what I don't speak that. I don't be speaking that. What makes no? I don't know how to speak that. Sorry. Still watching defense stocks, but despite lots of contracts, they're not moving up. And that is primarily Boeing. All right, Glenn, is Joey taking over Trending Thursday while you were away? No. Can we talk politics when you're not here? Hey, Joey, do you want to take over and do a live stream talking politics?
Yeah, let's do it.
What? You heard it. Joey said, "Let's do it." Do you think the
about to upset Virginia? They just hit a big 3. Huge.
who?
Furman.
Oh man.
First time in the tournament since the 80s or something.
Oh Lord. Is my bracket busted already?
It's not looking good.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Listen, folks, Again, this is my last live stream until I come back off of vacation. And with that, I'm going to go out with my regular stuff, but I'm going to stay love. Exciting and new. All aboard. Woo! We're expecting you on a love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu train. Until the next time, folks.